So about 8 months ago, when hockey started back for the season, I would notice that after training my knee would be kind of sore, you know, maybe 2 days after training, and I was like, oh, okay, I probably just haven't stretched or I've overdone it or something like that. And it got to the point where I couldn't bend down to take my shoes off after training, and I would have to get someone to help me because my knee was so sore and I couldn't bend it. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should go to the doctor. They were like, okay, go and get an MRI. It sounds like you might have torn the meniscus. Had the MRI done in about March, I think it was, and took it back to the GP, and they said, yep, you have definitely torn the meniscus and there's a nice little kind of cyst around the whole thing. Great. They were like, let's be really conservative in trying to fix this. Go and see a physio and go from there. So I went and saw the physio, and he's really nice, and he gives me all these knee exercises and stuff, and then it wasn't really helping a lot, so he suggested, and my GP suggested, to try a cortisone shot. So I went and did that, which was fun, and that was really good for a while, but I still can't do really basic things like kneeling down, sitting cross-legged. So I've just been to see the GP now, and she has referred me to the hospital, and then we'll go from there. So I probably should have done an update a while ago, but pretty much I started going through the public system, and they sent me a letter and said, you are on the waiting list for an appointment, and that waiting list is 1 year long. That wasn't even a year for the surgery, it was just a year for the appointment. So I was like, alright, I'm going to get private health insurance because I think that will tick over quicker. I'm in the middle of waiting out my 1 year pre-existing condition period. So I've still been going to physio, still been going to the gym. Anyway, the new year came around and I decided to book in an appointment with a specialist, with the orthopedic surgeon, to start getting the ball rolling on doing it privately. The orthopedic surgeon took one look at the MRI results and he was like, you should have gone into surgery ages ago because there's a giant cyst around the tear and it's not going to go away. And beyond the results of the MRI, he literally took one look at my knee and he was like, I can see it. Like, I can literally see the cyst around the tear. And he poked it and he was like, it's right there. And I was like, yeah, it is. The surgeon also said that the tear in the meniscus was 1.8 millimeters long. So my arthroscope has been booked in for August this year. So that is the update for now. I will try and update when I know more, which will probably be in August. Also, just had a thought. I will put in pictures of the MRI so you can see the tear, and you can see, well, I don't know if you can see the tear, but you can definitely see the cyst. It's exactly 2 months until my knee gets done, and I'm so excited. I don't think I've shown what my knee actually looks like from the outside. You can't really see it, but when I look down at my knees, I can see where it's swollen. This is my good knee. You can see that it's quite flat there. There's no lump or anything. But then when we switch to this knee, you can see that there's like a lump there. Can you see that? I hope you can see it. Yeah. You can kind of see it. You can certainly feel it, but that whole sort of area there is a big lump, and it's a hard lump. Like, it feels like a rock. Feels like my knee bone is there. So that's where it's at, and I'm excited for 8 weeks for this to be fixed. Today's the day. I'm kind of nervous. In terms of surgery, it's literally like nothing. Do you know what I mean? They just poke 2 holes in you, clean up your meniscus, and then seal the holes up. Like, it's really not major at all. The whole thing takes like half an hour, but I've just like never had surgery before, never been under anesthetic before, so I just don't really know what to expect. I'm a bit of a scaredy cat on the best of days, so we will see how it goes. I'm excited, nervous and excited. I'm home now and in bed. After I woke up from the anesthetic, I was in a lot of pain and I couldn't stop crying. And so they gave me more pain, like through the drip thing. Pain relief. They didn't give me more pain. through the drip, and then that was better, but then that wore off pretty quickly. So then they gave me endone, and I was just gone. And then eventually I had crackers and a lemonade, and they gave me an icy pole as well. So I was just sitting there like licking this icy pole, bawling my eyes out. Oh gosh. Anyway, Kate picked me up, and on the way home I was like, oh my gosh, I don't feel well. We got like 500 meters from home and we had to pull over, and I just like threw up everywhere, but felt better after that. And now I'm in bed. People always say with anesthetic that they'll put the anesthetic in, and then they say, okay, like count down from 10 or count up to 10, and you get to like 2 and you're out. But he didn't even do that. He had already put half the anesthetic in my arm already. I sat on the bed and the guy was like, make sure you're in the middle so that you don't roll off. And then the anesthetic guy was like, okay, I'm just going to put the rest of it in, and I was already out. I was gone. None of this counting to 10 shit. I didn't even get to 0. But it was good, and I'm glad it's over. And I'm excited to be able to bend my knee properly again and like run and squat and stuff like that. It'll be good. I can now bend and straighten my leg really well, but now that I can do that means that every time I bend it and then straighten it, my knee's just like, because of all the fluid that's in it. It's a little bit gross, but like mostly satisfying, because it's like having bubble wrap in my leg. I just got home from driving for the first time. It kind of hurt a little bit, but it was mostly okay. It'd be alright if I was in an auto, but it is my left leg and I have a manual. So it's my clutch foot that's just bam, 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 bam the whole time. So it was okay though. It was okay. So today's pretty much 2 weeks since I had the surgery. I'm just about to head off to get the bandages taken off, or like the little band-aid things that are left. And then we'll get to see my cool wound. But this is what my knee looks like at the moment. So this scar here looks pretty good. This one bled quite a lot, but that happened as soon as I put it on. That's been there from the first day. And you probably can't see from here, but my leg is still quite swollen. You can kind of see the definition around my knee there compared to just nothing there. So around here and here, just sort of above the cuts, it's actually still quite swollen, but otherwise it's doing okay. But I'm so excited to get the strips taken off so that I can finally shower properly without having a plastic bag taped to my leg. Then also to shave my legs because they're looking a bit furry at the moment. I just had the strips taken off and you can barely even see a mark. It's so crazy. Like, I knew it wouldn't scar or anything like that, but I thought you'd still be able to see the cut, but it's literally just like, it looks like I've just nicked myself on something. It's so cool. He also said the tear and the cyst were on the lateral side, which is the outside, which I already knew. But he said there was also a tear on the medial, which is the inside as well. And then I said to him, did you stitch it up or did you chop it off? And he was like, we chopped it off. There was no way we were stitching it up. It was like mush. So pretty much a good chunk of the meniscus on that side was crushed. But getting there now. He just said no squats, no lunges for 6 weeks, and then we're good to go. So hopefully I'll be running soon, or like jogging soon. We're already starting to do things like wall sits and stuff like that. Weight bearing's pretty much fine. We're just still trying to get more like bend to it. But otherwise it's pretty good and I'm excited. Thanks for sticking around and watching my little video on my meniscus. It's been fun to make and it has been a very, very long time in the making.